there, internet, MegaMogwai here, and I got yet another Legends of Runeterra for you guys today. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we're keeping things simple in a deck called Magic Bad, as we are going with a bit of an experiment, really, because I took a pretty established archetype, which is not really as popular as Bard Z, for example, but it's putting in the work for some people on ranked, and that is Bard GALIO. And I decided to add in a full set of Petricite Pillar to this archetype and see, how good this card can ultimately be. I don't know if this is the best shell for a card like this, because it is a very interesting card to analyze, right? It's not quite as straightforward as the unit counterpart in Stony Suppressor, which is just like kind of like an ongoing effect. The cool thing about Petricite Pillar is that timing with this card is extremely important. So I figured that in a deck that has a pretty low spell density, right, we could definitely benefit from this card right here. Time it right, especially against more reactive decks, like for example Annie Ezreal. We can actually shut down their combos, and against control decks in general, we can effectively just not allow them to chain spells and focus that turn on developing the board ourselves. And I found great success with this card in those specific matchups, so I felt like this would be a fitting home for it. I'm not really sure if it makes the deck better, but it was really fun to mess around with, and I really wanted to showcase this card in some sort of way. Maybe in the future I'll explore it more and I'll find like a better home for it, even though it is generally going to be a deck like this. Very heavy on units, all about board development, and a deck that just does not want to deal with magic, hence the title of the deck, Magic Bad, okay? And that's essentially what we're doing here. We have a archetype. In case you don't know what Bard GALIO is, we have a extremely high density of Demacia cards and then the Bard package. Generally, these Runeterra champions work as kind of like support for Allegiance decks for the most part. As right now, there hasn't really been a home for like Jhin outside of Jhin, Annie, aggro. I'm going to try to change that. Don't worry, like I'm going to get back to Jhin eventually, but it is hard to actually be flexible when brewing with Runeterra champions because they do have really strict restrictions when it comes to deck building. And Bard here is just to support our Demacia Unga Bunga strategy, as we have a bunch of challengers in Duran Sculpture, and more challengers, and even more challengers, and Remember the Fallen. I still remember her old voice line, which was so good, and I don't know why they took that out, but yeah, crap your time. So the idea is, with this board-heavy deck, we play GALIO, and we level up Bard pretty much instantly when we play GALIO, if we have not leveled up Bard by that point. And on top of that, we are able to just have a tremendous board state that will outmuscle anything. And once GALIO levels up, which is very easy to do with this deck, we are able to threaten our opponent with rally effects that are just going to overwhelm most decks. And the Spell Shield alongside the Petricite Pillars actually works pretty well. Like I've had really good successes, specifically against control decks with this deck, because if you time this card right, like you just really shut them down, and all of a sudden your board is generally going to be bigger than most because you got the extra boost from Bard, and you're able to gain a lot of value out of Duran Sculpture if she's not removed, and the chimes, of course, like I mentioned, as we also have the Swift Wing Flight that allows us to buff our other challengers +1/+1 as they are challenging, and we can use to generate something like a Silverwind Vanguard that would love to get chime boosts because it effectively duplicates, and that's very neat onto a challenger. So yeah, that's basically the deck list right there. It's pretty straightforward in that regard. Just spread out, have a strong board, dominate the board with your challengers, get the good trades, and then just attack the Nexus until you win. That's generally how you win with most decks in Legends of Runeterra. But that is that. We have a very low amount of spells because of the fact that we're playing a full set of Petricite Pillar. And again, timing this can be easier said than done. Like sometimes knowing exactly when to play this can be tricky. And also because of the spacing as well, especially when you're taking cards like Silverwind Vanguard into account. The fact that the landmark occupies a space can also be a bit awkward in certain scenarios. So it's not the easiest to play even in a deck like this, but it definitely has felt really fun. So hopefully you guys enjoy the show. And that's all I gotta say about it. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for daily Legends of Runeterra content. Enjoy the games. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright, here we go. Now this could be a matchup in which the Petricite Pillars could shine potentially, since they do love chaining stuff. Let's drop. I mean, I kind of want to keep the Golden Aegis to threaten them with a rally effect, actually. gonna drop these two. Just to see if I can find a bit of an earlier curve. We need to time this right though. They don't like this, okay. I wouldn't think that they go for it immediately. I think, you know, one would think that they're playing the Curious Shellfolk, right? So leading off with the prank immediately seems like a very silly play. Unless you have to actually have no build-up. But they're just tapping out every round. We're gonna have fun with this card for sure.
I help when I can, shut up when I can.
All right, let's get to work.
She kicks, huh?
Alright. I'm drawing all the spells though. Like all the spells.
I've come a long way from a flying stone bird.
All the spells in my deck. Good time to use it.
Steady hands.
Soon enough we'll have a good...
Flesh is a weakness we must shed.
Let's drop this now.
Yes, of course.
If you want to play that, if you want to upgrade, it's gonna cost you.
Erase frailty.
Now with this pillar right here,
Every work demands a piece of ourselves.
we can focus on just developing our bard. When we play bard, we're gonna have a level up going on here.
Now, that's a bit better.
This pillar buys us some good time, especially in a matchup like this.
Reinforcement at the seams.
We get to curve out nicely, and if whatever they want to do, if they want to change spells, it's gonna cost them really hard this round. So if they resort to only units, then because of our superior stat lines, we're just gonna be able to outmuscle them. So the plan now is very simple. We're gonna go with Broadwing onto this, and we're gonna attack with everything because we want those 6 chimes from Bard.
Where's my hammer?
If they want a Mystic Shot, it's gonna be 4 mana. And it still doesn't save Victor. If they want to, like, Mini-Morph, for example, it's 8 mana.
Design.
And we got the Concerted Strike on the next round anyways. And just like that, they spent all their mana just to Mini-Morph. We're not able to progress the keyword, and now as they go for it, Victor is so weak.
That's a bit better.
Tap to rally. I have a 4/5 stat line, which makes me pretty safe against that. I still want to resort to this though, because now it's like, okay, you can consider strike if you want. You can take back concerted, sure.
Genius in action. Electroplating complete.
Steady hands.
I want to deal with Victor first. Bam, ba-da-da. Get that out of here. Da-da-da.
Where's my hammer? Needs a finishing touch.
So they block onto here. That's 3, 3, 7. That's lethal. They obviously have options to go for, right? But if they want to resort to Concerted Strike, we can just Concerted Strike back. So that's not really an option. That's still, I mean, it's 4 mana, so they could have other stuff. But me developing here just gives them more of a chance to... Now you can't concert it though. If that's your plan. If they wait for that, like, look, I'm gonna do this and concert strike. That's exactly what happened. You gotta pay a price, bruh. Oh, I gotta change my emotes. We're having another emo session now. This is gonna be tricky because I don't think there are any Galio or Bard emotes, so I'll have to see how to figure this out. Yep. I guess for the meantime, we'll just go with this. In that moment, they knew. They fucked up. All right, emote session. Let's do this. So we're playing mainly Demacia, right? I don't think there are any Bard emotes, so we're gonna have to guide ourselves through that. Whenever I play Demacia, I like the Fiora a lot. What are other Demacian emotes that could fit here? Let's see. I'm not seeing any Demacia. I mean, there's always the Flex. I think the Flex is fitting for a deck that's, you know, as beefy as ours, right? We're also very against magic, so, you know, this one is pretty great. You know, just letting our opponents know that we're having a great time, potentially at their expense. And yeah, honestly, I feel like this is good enough. Like, we have enough to, you know, like, I really like the Caitlyn emote, honestly. Like, I really, really like it. And I'm a big fan of the Poro one as well. Zillion is hard for me to replace. Like, it's actually my favorite emote. So, because we only have one region, I feel like we you know, when we get serious, we have Fiora. You know, when we flex, we actually literally flex on them. And then we're just happy and just say hello and everything. Lux is good at that. Totally not BME by any stretch of the imagination. All right. Round 2. Anivia. Alright, this is definitely a matchup for the pillar to shine in. I could keep the Ranger's Resolve as well. I'm gonna drop these 2 actually. Gonna try to see if I can find some better units for early on. Just please don't draw me a billion spells. Like, I have very little spells. Okay, Bird, good. It's just enough spells.
Lady Elise, where are you?
That's annoying. That's an annoying one drop to deal with for us, that's for sure. That's very good. Okay, we got the Galio. We need to time this pillar though.
I must get out of here.
I'm gonna trade with these 2 just to trigger the Redeemer. Dude!
Remember the fallen.
Just gotta remember the fallen. Okay, there they are, ramping. Alright, time to play one of these. Wish I could play this as well. Maybe I should have played this into this and this. Yeah. That would have been better. Oh well. Oh well. I could have done that. I could have dropped that. Okay. Not like it would have mattered then. That is a good draw. I ever saw one though. Let's see if they have an Anivia on curve. Well, they got that.
Today we turn the tide of war.
Nothing escapes my watch.
My shield is yours. We will not hesitate.
Alert the village!
This Petricite is really neat because now we can commit to GALIO next round, and we're protected against a Runation here. Actually, we're not. They have 11 mana. They ramp really fast. We're still going for it because GALIO does have spell shield anyways. Just gotta hope they have no Runation. Okay, no more Runation.
I still see far and clear.
No more Runation, baby. Could still be a Vengeance, but they need to chain into something. The spell shield protects us, so they can't combine Vengeance with Vile Feast. Pillar putting in the work here. Four mana entree. Alright. And the 4 mana Vile Feast. Okay.
I may be made of stone, but I'm all heart.
Now they can play Bard now. But a Runation really smacks us, so Vengeance is gonna happen here likely.
Light the signal.
Maybe playing Bard is a mistake here. Maybe not.
Eternal winter.
They want to clear us here. So we're gonna go for the Concerted Strike. Normally I would not kill Anivia, but we're aiming for a lethal next round. A lethal that surpasses their ability to harsh wind us. Because even if they have a freeze here, for example, as well, we can just shield the Duran. That's why I'm targeting this. Yeah. That's 10. And Galio's there for some reason. Galio, did you die? We halt that. The spirit of Galio!
Era begins.
Fight with us to the end!
We will not hesitate.
And good luck stopping this. Woo! Okay, that was close actually. Got him! Got him, baby. The pillars did something? Yeah. I don't know what this is. I guess a control version with like a lease for early tempo, right? If that's the case, we can definitely benefit from the pillar as well. A lot of wacky matchups today. I feel like GALIO is gonna be important. I kind of want to keep this entire hand, even though it's a bit clunky in my curve. But all these cards are useful for a matchup like this. We do want the pillar, but we don't need it immediately. Sculpture can be good later, but I don't want them to play Elise on curve. So we're not gonna attack with the challenger. We're gonna threaten that.
I know what lurks in the shadows.
All right, let's get to work.
Weak as wounds a bite.
Stay still. Yeah, that's a bit better.
Play bird is the word. I'm gonna keep this Ranger's Resolve for the next round. I think I can let that die. There's a lot of things that can go down with this. Like they could have a signature spell. Oh, all right. That's a pretty heavy answer. But now let's see if we get that chime on too. Oh really? Oh GALIO, you, damn it, GALIO. I'm gonna get double Vanguard just so that I, have a nice chance of boosting these. GALIO, you could have not taken those buffs, man. You gotta be greedy there, bruh. Honestly, I'm disappointed.
I help when I can. Shut up when I can.
Could trade you into you. Considering I'm gonna be playing these guys, I don't see a reason not to.
Come on.
This is maybe a good opportunity to go for the Ranger's Resolve, to be honest. Like, how's my board gonna end up? Pretty weak. I think this is good. It's a lot of value. It's a lot of damage. Like, we're probably into 3 damage here. As a result, our board is considerably more resilient. And then we have backup with Shield of Duran here. We gotta believe in the heart of the chimes. Or play Esmus. And now our chances are very neat. GALIO, I swear to God. GALIO, you cannot take more buffs, man. It's not about you. Nani. Oh. I guess they're not that spicy. Alright, let's see what song they got for us. This reminds me of Whiplash. Actually, I've watched that movie several times. I really like it. And I watched it like very recently. Good movie. Not quite my tempo though. I should have passed back. Like they passed to me. Wait, they passed? Oh, they're not playing the other one? What? Nani? Okay, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Definitely want to spread out here. Like we're facing a matchup where, yeah, they could have a 6-mana spell here, but what is it going to be? Like a shock blast at worst? We certainly develop and try to go for a very powerful GALIO development next round, while keeping good value in our hand. Okay, so there it is. I definitely want to Shield of Duran here. Keep in mind, none of these are challenging, so I think I'd rather preserve you. I mean, this is more damage though. We're talking about 3, 6, and 12, and this gives us a little bit of a boost. Yeah, we're preserving you. You're all right, Esmus, but at this point, I need brute force. I also need the unit that's gonna lead all my challengers and buff them. And now this Galio is gonna hit hard. Unless they clear my board. That would suck.
This is the cutting edge of progress.
Is it?
I fight for a brighter tomorrow.
How's this for progress?
Come on then, let's get to fighting.
Even if he takes out one of these, we still level up Galio, which is really important. Unless they have a 3-mana what? Oh, okay. Well, they got the spell shield.
I may be made of stone, but I'm all heart.
What could they play? Like, the reality is they need to kill Galio. Nothing else works. Like, what other 6-mana spells could they have? If they go for vengeance, I just develop more. And that's pretty much their entire turn. Like, this pillar actually puts them in a strong predicament because, like, okay, if you have vengeance, go for it. Otherwise, I'm gonna keep developing because you cannot chain spells on me. If you have something like a shock blast, yeah. We're gonna get the blinding assault because we have just enough mana for it in case they take something down. Because, bro, we know you got a vengeance here. We know you got a vengeance. All right, so distract you. Maybe I could have played the 1-drop, so I actually put them at range. Yeah, I think going for this was a mistake. I should have taken the tracker, but I guess that's enough though. But I did this play actually.
Don't mess with Demacia.
Fiora, it's definitely jank day today. Fiora is actually quite scary. I think we keep the Concerted Strike just because of that. Rise to the Protector is also good because it can actually protect us. Petricite could make things awkward for them.
I sculpt what others only dream of. Now that's a bit better. Steady hand.
That's the problem with all in Fiora. You know, what happens when you don't draw Fiora? Baby a double. Radley calling, alright.
I long for a worthy opponent.
How do you stop this? Oh, I see. Because even if I play a 2-drop here, Concerted Strike is still enabled next round, and that's the only spell that I have to play. So it doesn't really make a difference for me. I'm gonna go with Bryce Steel Protector onto the Esmus, so a Sharp Sight
My shield is yours.
doesn't work here. Quicksand still does, but it's 5 mana.
Where's my hammer?
You got Desert Duel. It's an expensive chain vest.
Let them eat swords. Try me.
I think at this point...
I've trained my whole life for this.
A slight adjustment.
I just spread out. Because they can't just start chaining spells this round. Yeah, this card is really neat. I'm not sure this is like the best deck for it, but it's got a lot of potential. Like when you play it at the right time, you can just go in and you don't have to worry about them chaining spells on you. So everything's just so damn expensive during these 2 turns. So we're just able to, you know, play like spread out wide. They're very low here, and normally this deck would have like a lot of tools, right? Like they can start like chaining a bunch of stuff or trying to buffer, but everything is so pricey. And then we got a concerted strike upon attack, so we're not worried about a judgment because next round that's all they have.
Today we turn the tide of war.
A little reinforcement at the seams.
And GALIO just kind of like nullifies judgment as well, because everything would just be way too beefy. I mean, how do you beat this, bruh?
Will you chisel me a friend? Someone who won't break?
Give me a day and you'll have 2.
Everything's too thick. Yeah. Seems like the proper play to go for at that point.
You don't mess with Demacia.
Alright. Maybe this is the go hard deck actually. But instead of Kindred, they're playing Elise. With Lord Broadmane, or maybe without it. That would definitely lose points. In my opinion, to be honest, just saying. I'm gonna keep this in. Pillar would be pretty sick here, actually. So maybe I could have mulliganed a little bit more aggressively for that. We're gonna go hard immediately, though. That's kind of weird. I don't think that's a worthy target. I think you want to wait until you draw the Catalog of Regrets. I'm gonna pass because I want to threaten that Elise.
I sculpt what others only dream of.
Alright.
Now that's a bit better. A slight adjustment.
Let's wait on it, though.
There's nothing to fear.
Where's my hammer?
We're gonna go on damage here. I'm gonna slow them down. They want to ping this now, they're gonna have to pay the price for it. And if they do, we get to Vanguard Redeemer. Yeah.
Remember the fall.
Remember the Fallen.
A little reinforcement at the seams.
I've got your back.
Steady hands.
is, well.
Will you chisel me a friend? Someone who won't break.
Give me a day and you'll have two.
We're it.
Now that's a bit better.
I agree. Well, that's a hard level up to stop. Gotta go for that draw, but the question is pack your bags even enough at this point? The thing is, because you stop your opponent from playing spells, you can never know exactly how impactful it's been. But I'd like to believe the pillar has been really neat here. I don't really know why they're... Oh, because they have the signature spell from Elise. That's why. So they want to have 2 extra chump blockers here. Because otherwise they haven't enabled that. So you know what? No. 9. They telegraphed the shit out of that. No crawling in your skin. Hit him with a spell. Creepy crawling sensation. None of that, boy.
What's your hurry?
Yeah. Victory, that's all. Alright, so down to that. But that means we rally. Okay. Alright, Bre. Round 2. That tickles. That tickles.
Press on.
That almost hurt. Sure. Let him have it. Let him have it. Oh yeah. I don't care what anybody says. Pillar!
You don't mess with Demacia.
MVP.